This is Dolynny TV, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, good morning, good tomorrow, wherever you're tuning in from. Great pleasure of mine to have you along today to discuss some great more records, great stuff out of the Edmonton Oilers. Like just awesomeness, right? That's what we're looking at today, simply because that's kind of what I've promised you down the stretch here. Is the Oilers are doing some franchise historic and NHL historic feats this season, and game by game down the stretch we continue to absolutely move towards more and more greatness out of this 2022-2023 Edmonton Oilers club. Before we get too far into the video though, friends, if you're new to the channel, what I want you to do is consider hitting that subscribe button here on Dolynny TV. I'd love to have you aboard. Of course, there's a big show coming up at the end of March here on Dolynny TV for a weekend up in Cold Lake. I need you a part of that. Let me tell you, I want to knock the socks off the hosting committee, that is for sure. And secondary too, if you're returning to the channel, I'll need you too. And well, guess what? You can help out by leaving a like on today's video. Alright, enough about me, okay? You gotta do it, but enough about me. The Oilers, let's talk about those guys. Yeah, I know I talk about those guys every day, but 30 goal scorers. How many of those do we have? Well, waking up this morning following a game against the Seattle Kraken, we now have 4 of them. That seems absolutely insane in my mind that the Oilers have 4 30 goal scorers. And well, why does that seem absolutely insane? Because that has not happened in my gosh darn lifetime, friends. It has been since 1989, 1990, the last time the Edmonton Oilers had 4 30 goal scorers in a season. So that seems pretty insane to think about, considering, well, the Oilers have always been pretty high flying under the Connor McDavid era, but there has not been a season in which we have had that since Mark Messier, Glenn Anderson, Jari Kurri, and Esa Tikkanen back in 89-90. And you got to think too about the spread. Mark Messier had 45 goals that season, Glenn Anderson had 34, Jari Kurri had 33, and Esa Tikkanen had 30 goals. By the way, what did the Oilers do that spring summer? Well, you and I both know exactly what Captain Mark Messier did for the Edmonton Oilers that spring and summer. But just to go wrap up some Oilers stats here to give you an idea, right? We heard 45 goals is the best. Okay, so do I want to view now the terms of service on the NHL.com website? Not really. How do I exit out of this? Thank you. That's all I wanted to do. Alright, player stats. You want to hear this from the 2022-2023 Oilers? How about this? Connor McDavid, 58 goals. I would not be surprised next game out to see him end up getting 60. I think when Connor's 2 away from something, and you know what, I have a feeling. But Leon Draisaitl at 44, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins at 31, and Zach Hyman at 30. Nuge is kind of the biggest question mark the rest of the season for us. Will he or won't he hit 100 points on the year? But that's where we're sitting right now, friends, is we've got 3 guys below 50 goals, but all over 50, and then you've got Connor McDavid just on the doorstep of 60, and realistically with 12 games to go and 12 goals to go to 70, he is right there and that close to getting that big task done. And obviously too, for Connor McDavid, 150 point season is 16 points away in 12 games. Are you kidding me? Connor's going to be absolutely tearing the cover off the back of the net with the puck, because he'll be looking to fill that for 150 and just kind of give us something extra special. So that's where you sit, right? That is the goal scoring numbers, and it is absolutely insane. We knew Zach Hyman was going to have a good year following up a good year last year, but now you're seeing just how good of a year it actually truly is for Zach Hyman this year. And I think all these times are in Eastern time, if I'm not mistaken, or are they actually in Mountain? As we have, why do we have an 8:30 game on Wednesday? Okay, I don't think I've been paying attention to things, but for some reason the Arizona Coyotes game is scheduled for 8:30 on Wednesday night. I hope that's a typo. We next play the San Jose Sharks on Monday, but that's where we're looking right now, friends. Is the goal scoring has been off the charts, and it's just right game in, game out. Now we get into the softer part of the schedule here for the Oilers, where you go San Jose, Arizona, Vegas, LA. Yeah, that sounds a little bit hard, but you think about that, that's the softer point where we can make up a lot of ground within the Pacific Division, right? You're in the Western Conference pretty much the rest of the way home, so you're ready to rock and roll right now. And obviously, those two games against Vegas, you go and win 4 of the next 5 games, and you win both against Vegas out of those 5. Guess what? You are probably in first place as the Edmonton Oilers Hockey Club. So that's phenomenal. But just to think, right, is the Oilers have all that kind of goal scoring out of those guys, and then you have something else that's happening here too, right? Is just let me pan over to it here. Sorry, I had to look at the schedule. I was kind of confused about what was going on. But the Oilers have a total of then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 plus goal scorers this year. Kane obviously cementing himself up to 13 with that hat trick yesterday. Warren Foegele now at 12. Derek Ryan with 12. Ryan McLeod with 11. And Klim Kostin with 10. And then you got Yamamoto and Matthias Janmark right in there with 9 and 8 apiece. And somehow, someway, if Darnell Nurse got hot down the stretch, he could definitely find himself in the next 10 games, 12 games, whatever it is, with 10 goals as well. So there's quite a bit of goal scoring going on with this Oilers team. And thankfully, it's not just the top 4, because I think we'd be in a much bigger world of hurt. But that comes with everybody has stepped up over the past several months here, probably since the turn of the year, and this Oilers team has been absolutely unreal. I think in terms of one goal games or something, or games we score 3 or more goals in, or allow 3 or less goals. There's some kind of stat I heard on a broadcast the other night where it's just something unreal, where the Oilers have only realistically lost 2 games in those set of games. I think it's the 3 goals or less against. We've lost 2 games in regulation in the new year. So if you do that, you're going to win a lot of hockey games. And you got to think too what you're getting out of Stuart Skinner right now, right? 911 save percentage, 2.90 goals against average. That is good enough numbers to win a ton of hockey games in Edmonton. 22, 14, and 4 record. There was a time Stuart Skinner was like 14, 13, and 4. So it's fantastic to see that the Oilers are stepping up, but the goal scoring kind of gets cemented with a legacy piece in the Oilers history books, not done since 89-90, and now we have nothing but the spring and summer to look forward to for this Edmonton Oilers Hockey Club. I'm Tyson, this is Dolynny TV. Thanks so much for tuning in this morning. Like I said, this is just more or less filler stuff, but it is what it is. You got to talk about it at some point, and I'm glad to talk about it with you today here on the channel. I'm up on out of here.